All right, so it's after Christmas. I got a bunch of Harbor Freight gift cards for Christmas to put towards one thing. I bought the 65 amp plasma cutter from Harbor Freight. And we're about to unbox it and figure out how it works. Look at it, see what it comes with. Here we go. Comes with the consumables for a plasma cutter. So let's see, 3 of each. Service tool, the owner's manual, the adapter, so it can go from your 50 amp 240 plug to your 110 a plug. That's not your regular 110 plug though. So, but I've got the big plug, so I won't need that. Comes with a ground cable. It's got a special lug to lock it into the machine, so many feet of wire, and a clamp. Then it comes with the cutting torch part, which this is what goes under the machine. Got so many feet. You flick this handle up so you can't accidentally hit it, and then you'll pull the trigger, and that's what starts the machine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go set this over on the welding cart, and I will move you so you can see what I'm doing over there. So there it is, sitting on the fabrication cart. Let's call it a fabrication cart. So the welder I've got wrapped up like that. I don't know. I think I'm gonna scoot it over, give it a little room to breathe between there, because I'm sure that's where the heat vents and everything for everything. Let's actually do that while I'm thinking about it here. So there's no doors to this machine or anything like that, so it can kind of just sit there. And this machine's door is on this side, which in my opinion is a poor design, because as you can see, it's a Vulcan, and Vulcan made this cart, which you can't switch very easily without going into some fabrication and everything. But if you get tall cylinders for your gas, for your shielding gas, you can't open the welder to change your spool, which is what it works for. I don't change the spool very often, but it sits there, and then there's still room, sitting next to this, and you can put another small machine there, which I have a plan for. I plan on getting a TIG welder, like just TIG welder, because this one does TIG, but it won't do what you need to do aluminum TIG. So I'd like to get a TIG welder that does that. I have the option here to do spool gun, and spool gun will do aluminum on that, but it would be nice to have TIG aluminum as an option. But you can see all these warnings on it, you know, basically maintain your equipment and how to maintain it. So what I noticed on this is it does come with an air fitting, but it doesn't match my shop air. So I gotta go and change that out so it'll match my shop air. All right, like I said, I don't need this adapter. It does come with it, so I'm not gonna throw it away. Okay, did a little bit of reading on it, and they want the air pressure between 80 and 110 psi. So I put a regulator in, and so I can run as high as the shop air as that compressor will make, and then it runs over to the electrical outlet for the welder, same thing, and plugs right in. So the reason I had them put the electrical outlet here is if I've got a big project that I've got a lot of steel here for, I can actually run it, put the steel outside the garage, have the plasma cutter outside, and cut it to the size I need, and then bring it in and work on it. Found this junk piece of plate, real thin, but it's just enough to see how it, make sure it actually cuts. So it's a bright light, so you got to wear shaded glasses, which evidently I don't have any cutting glasses here. So I'm going to use this, and that will protect my eyes from the light that this is going to make. Put some leather gloves on and see what we can do. Since this thing's got paint on it, it does catch fire while I'm cutting it, but it just cuts right through that stuff. It's only 26 amps. And this one will cut all the way up to 65 amps, so it does exactly what I want it to do. More piece of equipment in the shop. It is pretty full, but it's easier to get the equipment than it is to get a bigger shop. It's one of those things where I've just got to be patient. And when I move into that bigger shop, I want to have everything. So I just move in and I can start working. Everything I want. Jack stands, jacks, fabrication tools, all of them. Get this organized and cleaned up, and you know, I got my bolt bins. It's a small selection, but it's about everything you want for the size of jobs I do. And I've got various air fittings and different things, so I never have to go somewhere if I'm stocked. And if I get something new, I can generally set it up and put it right to work. So that's my new tool. It's going to make cutting apart steel so much easier. It's going to make, cutting out body panels that are all rusted out a lot easier. I won't have to worry about how to get a grinder in there. I can just put the clamp down, go in, and cut it off. So I guess that's kind of what this video is going to be about. So thanks for watching, and leave a comment, like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.